right, guys, welcome back. Another live stream. We are off and running here this morning. Markets are looking pretty good, both on the stock market side and crypto side. So, lot to get into, a lot of things to talk about. Bitcoin closing in on $75,000. We are officially back here at the top of the range that we have been, waiting to get back to. We'll see if we can continue to grind up higher from here. Last time we got up right around 75K, we came back down pretty quickly. So the big question is, can we kind of create a new floor? Can we kind of create a new floor here in the mid 70s and not dial back, below 70K? That's going to be the big thing to watch here as we progress this week. We've got outperformance by a ton of altcoins. Ethereum looks phenomenal right now. Definitely showing some major strength, up almost 10% here in the last 24 hours. So great to see ETH making some run here. And ton of things, altcoin wise. Rave continues to go up. That thing has been a big topic of discussion here the last couple days. Venice, Pudgy seeing some nice price action. Monad, EtherFi, Aave, Algorand, Hyperliquid, even Pepe bouncing a little bit. And yeah, a lot going on the stock market side of things as well. We'll talk about all of it, break things down, man. Make sure you guys help us share the space. We are live streaming today on YouTube and X as well. If you guys are on some streams, help us out. Share the space, share the streams wherever you are. Hit the like button, all that great stuff. It does help jump us up in the algorithm a little bit. So, with that being said, right here at Market Open, obviously everything's going to come back to Bitcoin today. I mean, first and foremost, we need BTC to continue to do what it's doing. And if that's the case, man, it opens up the door for some great opportunities. Like, are we out of the woods completely? It's hard to say. I'm cautiously optimistic at the moment because, quite frankly, we've shown way more strength than I thought we would, especially with all the geopolitical things that are happening around the world. It's been a bright spot. Bitcoin has been a bright spot. Many other assets coming down. But what's really helped us, I think, too, is the stock market has reversed. I mean, the S&P 500 is getting close now back to all-time highs. So much of Bitcoin and crypto is still tied to risk-on assets. As much as we want to think crypto is kind of in its own world, more than anything, it's tied to the major indices, the S&P. It's tied to tech, right? And we're seeing a nice little resurgence in those type of assets. On the stock market side of things, S&P 500 up about a half a point right now, about a 0.5%. But again, we're getting close to new all-time highs on the SPY. So that's always good to see. Our 52-week high is 697.84. We're currently at 689 and a big green candle up here to start at market open. So we're close, man. We're very, very close to setting new all-time highs. Great reversal since like the end of March. It was March 30th where I think we had officially come down about 10% from the previous all-time high. So it's looking more and more like this was just a 10% correction on the S&P 500, which obviously, something we see all the time. I mean, I think people were looking at this as maybe a start to something, maybe a 20% correction, which is something that also happens. That's not out of the realm of possibilities for, the S&P to come down 15-20%. We kind of saw that last April. It just wasn't that steep of a correction. It hasn't been so far. So, we'll continue to watch things, but, we're watching on the monthly. We had about, 3 rocky months for the S&P. And now, so far, man, reversing up nicely and gaining some real true ground here and some traction. As for some individual plays, individual stocks that we're always following, things that I like, taking a look at AIPO, the ETF, the Defiance AI and power ETF. It's up over 1%, double the percentage gained on the SPY. That has been a trend this year in 2026. I've been going in pretty heavy into the AIPO ETF, just getting a little heavier weighted on the energy side of things, getting heavier weighted on the AI side of things and the build out there, because of some of the software big tech plays. They've been struggling. GE Vernova actually slightly red today. They were sitting at $1,000 at market open, came back down a little bit, but they found new price discovery again yesterday. That stock has just been a freaking beast. Robinhood, man, I've been buying as much as I can under $70. I just made a video on my stocks channel yesterday talking about Robinhood under 70, how much I've been loading up there. Robinhood up 8% today, man. So again, it goes back to that point we've made before. Anytime that we see, these type of stocks, like a Robinhood do well, that means risk is back, right? That means risk is back, and it's just a great way to play that risk. Robinhood stock came down for several months, man. I mean, since it topped out, what was that, late last year in November, we've been coming down for several months, man. And now finally a little turnover, man, on that price. And we dipped all the way down to like 63, I think. I think it got as low as 63. So Robinhood's been a play that I really, really like, man. I've continued to add to that one like crazy. It's running hard today. I've got a little bit of, a lot of bit actually. I've got a lot of bit tied into the AI energy infrastructure plays. Looking at Cypher, looking at Iron, they're both up big. Cypher 5.5%, Iron almost 7% up right now. That thing's running like crazy. Iron was just at like $32 not too long ago. It's back to 46. It dipped down to $31 on March 30th. It's similar to when the S&P in late March tumbled down. So this is proving to be a good opportunity, man. I think we're seeing the great relief rally in the stock market. That's helping us on the crypto side. People are getting a little bit more excited here, and people are starting to take a little bit of risk, which I like. Solaris is up 5%, MSTR reversing up 7%, Coinbase up 6%, BMNR 6%, UUU, that's 4 U's. It's an energy play. It's also a uranium play, energy fuels. This thing's been bouncing hard, up about 12% now on the week. Let's see. Strive's up 11% again today. How about that? 29% on the week. So a big reversal there for Strive. We were down there under $10, and now we're pushing up close to $13 a share with ASST. So that one continues to be a leader here as well. But man, it's just good to see. It's good to see some green across the board, for sure. And yeah, man, let's get into it, guys. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you guys share the room, share the space, do all that great stuff. See a bunch of people with us live here as well. So if you guys do have questions or want to join the conversation on the live streams, just drop your thoughts and ideas, and I'll interject and get it going here on the panel. But yeah, man, I'll jump over to Cliff first. Cliff, what's happening, man? What's going on? How are you, brother?
Man, what is going on, Breakfast Club? What is going on? Dude, what's going on is risk is going up. Risk is going up. Over the past couple weeks, we were blessed with a beautiful dip that has now turned green on the charts. The last dip we received was when J.D. Vance and Jared Kushner were walking away from talks with Iran, I believe last week. We were blessed with that short-term dip, which now turns out to be to have been a buying opportunity in risk. And this morning we are seeing Bitcoin back over $75,000. And that is primarily, I believe, pushed up by the PPI numbers that we received this morning, which, you decide for yourself if you want to believe those numbers or not. But what I can tell you is everything beat the projection except for PPI year over year. And, everything else beat the projection. We had core PPI beat the projection for year over year and month over month. So I know there's been a lot of discussion about inflation going up, but it appears as though that is debunked as far as these numbers are concerned this morning that we received. Now, like I said, you choose for yourself if you want to believe those numbers or not. But all I can tell you is what we have is that that's what it shows. So you can put as much faith in that as you want to, kind of like I do with the employment numbers that we see. However, I will take the pump on the chart as a positive sentiment, and I will cash that at the bank. So that's really good. Also, Zach, Q1 earnings season kicks off today in the stock market. So anybody playing over there, usually what we see in earnings season, especially the start, is a lot of volatility. So I would be ready to experience some of that if you're playing around in TradFi. Usually translates over into crypto a little bit too, since crypto is 24/7. The stock market has the advantage of closing at the end of the day. Crypto does not. It is 24/7. So we may experience some of that along with what they're seeing over in TradFi. However, I would say a lot of companies are experiencing record profits. So may not be so good for us when we go to buy things, but it's really good for companies right now. So another thing, Zach, that's interesting also that I was seeing this morning.
Cliff, real quick. Bloom Energy exploding today as well. The energy sector, man, is just going nuts right now. Applied Digital, another stock I've talked about for a really long time, it's going nuts today. Yeah, man. I mean, risk is back on right now. That's for sure, and it's leading in the energy side of things, which has been leading even in the bear, right? So it's no surprise there.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, and the best thing, man, the best thing to do, I'm going to keep saying it, is buy the red days. You don't buy on green days. You sell on green days. You buy on red days. But what I was also going to say, Zach, Bloom Energy caught a bid last night when Oracle announced that they are going to be using them for some of their power services, both hydrogen, and battery. So that was massive news for Bloom Energy coming from Oracle. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of I don't know if it was $20 billion worth or maybe more. It was a lot of money, though. It was a huge, huge deal for Bloom Energy. So that one's definitely very nice.
Oracle started flying too. Under the agreement, Bloom will provide fuel cell systems to power Oracle's growing AI and cloud infrastructure. For context, Bloom Energy makes fuel cell systems that generate on-site power for data centers and large businesses. Meanwhile, Oracle's cloud and software company that provides infrastructure and services to enterprises worldwide. According to the terms, Oracle's committed to an initial 1.2 gigawatts of capacity, with deployment already underway across projects in the United States. The deal includes an option to expand up to 2.8 gigawatts, pointing to further growth ahead. The deal builds on an existing partnership already between the two. In a previous project, Bloom delivered a fuel cell system to Oracle in 55 days, faster than expected with the 90-day timeline. Bloom said its systems are designed to handle the heavy power needs of AI data centers and can be installed more quickly than traditional power solutions. I mean, I remember we talked about this in January to start the year. This is not going to be a flash in the pan energy AI bull run, man. This is a prolonged thing, I think, in my opinion, man. And I'm looking at this at least throughout the entire year. And so far it's played out. I mean, we're already, mid-April now. And I mean, it's not subsided. It's only gotten bigger.
I think this is going to carry into 2030 myself. I'm working for a, Fortune 500 company. We talk about AI quite a bit, and we, without sharing any proprietary information, 2030 is a pretty notable date for the company that I work for. So I think we're kind of at the beginning of this. I know we say this all the time. We're at the beginning. We're early. Blah blah blah. But AI has so much further that it can go. I know people talk about AGI, all that good stuff. We're not even close to true AGI yet. So there's a lot of work to still be done in the AI sector, and it's going to continue. It's going to be everywhere before it's said and done. You'll have a smart house. You can just talk to your air conditioner, talk to your refrigerator, all this stuff. It's gonna be crazy, and so there's a lot left to go there. Also, we are at the halfway point right now between the next Bitcoin halving. So we got 105,000 blocks remaining until the next halving. So we're officially at the halfway mark. If this follows like last time, the last halving, we could potentially see another pump before that actual halving. So we're at the halfway point right now, which feels pretty damn good considering we're at 75,000 compared to where we were at the last one. And last thing I want to say real quick before I have to go to another call. I know we talked yesterday about Ethereum, and this is going back to crypto again, but we talked yesterday about Ethereum losing users or users not coming back. And I just want to say, as of April 12th, Ethereum mainnet has hit a new all-time high for daily transactions and has also onboarded a record 284,000 new active users in the first quarter of 2026. So I just want to put it to bed that anybody questioning if Ethereum is still alive or if it's dead, Ethereum is alive and well, and it is thriving. It may not be thriving on the chart, but it is thriving in protocol productivity, and that's really what matters for the people who are investing in it. So, yeah, that's what I got for this morning, man. But I definitely appreciate you having me up, Zach, and really enjoying these green candles that we have not seen in quite a while.
No doubt, man. Bitcoin ripping it up right now, man. Just shredding up higher. 75,500 now. I'll tell you what, man. If we start to creep up and we create a floor here, all of a sudden, I think the script is flipped. And this is what we've talked about before. Remember, we got up to 74 before, and I said, hey, the big question is, can we turn this into support? And we weren't able to. Right? It quickly came back down. The key here, I mean, it's great to see this. It's great to see the surge. The key is you're going to get a little bit of a pullback. Okay, it's natural. Bitcoin's price doesn't go up 6% this fast. When we get the pullback, can we create the floor? Can we create a new floor? That's what I'll be looking at here the remainder of this week. Who knows? We might even grind higher before we get that pullback, okay? But when that pullback comes, that's what you need to be looking at in order for to really identify a structural shift. We do not want to come back into that middle of the range and come back into 68K, because then it's just, okay, we're still range bound here. Basically, same song and dance. But I'll tell you what, man, this is looking pretty great. I mean, let's be real. It feels good. It feels really good. So enjoy it, right? Hopefully you're already invested, but hopefully you also are, cautiously optimistic. I think that's the way to play these markets right now. Understand that anything can still happen. We still have a war going on. We're still going to be very tied to what's happening there, right? So head on a swivel and be ready for anything and everything. Expect the unexpected. But I think from a price standpoint with BTC, man, this is super promising. Now, let's see where this whole surge stops and where this chart starts to flatten out. I would love, man, nothing more, to just get boring as hell at 73, 74K for like a week or two. The longer like we can create a floor in that mid 70 range, I know that sounds funny because we just want to see it go parabolic to 100K. I'm here for the long term. I don't really care. I want to see a structural change, and I need to see a new floor created, right? That tells me, hey, you know, these sellers are exhausted now, and they don't want to take this thing back down. But yeah, man, definitely exciting, definitely exciting. Everybody on the space, make sure you guys share the room, share it out there with everybody. Appreciate everybody listening live as well. We got a bunch of people live with us on YouTube X this morning as well. See a bunch of folks. Do have some questions coming in there too. Some people are asking me. Let's see here. Brock said, "What's up, Zach? Been loading up on Solana, Ondo, and Morpho the last few weeks." So there's a nice little spread. Shout out to Brock listening on the live stream. Everybody's a little bit more excited, a little bit more pep in their step this morning on the stream. Hey, Zach, how you feeling about SWI? Carl's asking. Let's see. SWI's up a little bit, right? I think did it get? It hasn't got back to that dollar level just yet, but SWI's been grinding up. Still down on the month, but definitely looks pretty good on the weekly here. We're at the top of the range on the weekly. We'll see if we can, break through this 97-cent level, and I think, we might be able to find some new life there. But yeah, I think SWI's obviously going to have another run in it. All these top assets will. Solana, SWI, and SWI's only had one run really, and it was in 2025. It's a new asset still. It's not an old asset. It's only been through one market cycle, so I think it'll have another run. But I'm also eyeing some of these ones that haven't had their initial surge at all yet. Especially if we get a better altcoin season this go around than last. I'm looking at Hyperliquid. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Plume went on an absolute tear yesterday.
Oh yeah, man. After when the news came out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's still up today.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I'm looking at Monad looks really good here again. It's almost found new price discovery. It's up 8% today as well. Top of the range, 42% on the week. So this thing's been a beast. 61% in the last month. So I'm liking that a lot. But guys, when this thing turns on like this, you're gonna get some good price appreciation across the board. It's just how are you allocating yourself, right? You can't own everything. You're trying to find a couple of the faster horses, and yeah, man.
Really, I'm really surprised also, Zach, to see Lido up over 20% on the 24-hour, and also WorldCoin's quietly up 30% on the week also. So there's a lot just in the top 100 that's looking really, really, really good on the 24-hour and the weekly.
One thing that's looking interesting. One thing that's looking a little bit more interesting to me now is BitTensor Tau. They had all that FUD come out somewhat recently. I'm not saying this is the local bottom for it, but it's getting enticing. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, I think, in crypto, a lot of times you do have to go against the grain a little bit. And, you want to be eyeing some things like this that, okay, it's down almost 20% in the last week. Their top subnet had some FUD, whatever. But remember all the Solana FUD and what happened? So it's not to say the same thing could happen with BitTensor, but a lot of times, man, going against the grain with these top assets when there is some FUD like this is a good move. So I'm looking at some of these cryptos that are down today with the whole market green. You got BitTensor down 4.5% still. That's getting a little interesting to me, man. I already own a little bit. I took some profits on the big surge up to like 370, but I still own some because I was accumulating it under 150. So I'm still just holding, but I'm looking at it, man. I'm getting close to maybe adding a little bit more on Bittenzer. I kind of
Tao is a
like,
gem.
yeah, I kind of like the FUD. I kind of like the, it's getting pushed down and not talked about. I'd rather it that way than, remember a few weeks ago when everybody and their brother came out of the woodwork for the first time and just became a towel bull. You know what I mean? I'd rather buy it now when nobody wants to talk about it personally. Just saying.
Exactly. That's where you make the money.
Especially with these assets that have been solidified. I mean, Bittender's been around. I mean, we know this thing's not going anywhere. It's still a $2.7 billion company, still a top 35 asset. We've seen it rip when the whole AI kind of narrative heats up. This thing rips. I mean, and that's gonna happen, man. And a lot of the Tau rips coincided with Nvidia.
Yes.
And big news there out of the AI front. I think we're going to get another AI crypto rip, at least I think one here, like relatively soon. And I think this one could be bigger than the last, in my opinion. So I'm looking at Bittenzer, I'm looking at Near, I'm looking at Virtual, I'm looking at, some of the plays
Yeah.
there.
Yes. And you nailed it. Every time NVIDIA has some news, Tau goes up. And, we know Jansen really likes Tau. I think he has actually mentioned that project specifically on stage. So if Jansen likes it, yeah, I mean, it's good in my book, right? Who am I to say it's not?
For sure, man. Yeah, they've talked about it, I think, in the All In podcast a couple times. It's come up. So, yeah, I mean, people are taking notice for sure. And I know they had, all the FUD come out. And it's not FUD. I mean, it was kind of whatever happened, it was a big mistake. It was a mix up. But in crypto, man, remember what happened with Terra Luna Classic after the whole chain went to hell? How much money
Yes.
people made on Terra Luna Classic? Like, you almost got to play reverse psychology in crypto sometimes. When people hate it, you kind of have to love it in some ways because it just happens time and time again, man. But Mar, what's going on, bro?
What's up, Zach? Good morning.
Morning,
Good morning to everyone. Here, just looking at the market, man. I could feel the bullish vibes from you guys. Just just be careful. Remember, I a few weeks ago or a month ago, whenever it was, I told you guys careful with this. This bull trap. I seen Bitcoin fake us out big time, thinking we're back in the bull market again, and then it takes a really hard dump. I'm not gonna risk it yet. Again, I have a long term portfolio for the next cycle that I don't want to say I'm super happy with, but I'm good with. But my next buy-in for Bitcoin it's under 60K, and I've had a few people say, "Oh, good luck with that." But yeah, man, that's just I'll be happy if I take what I have into the bull market or into the at least not a bull market, but more of an uptrend, like you said, Zach. If we could build a floor here around 72, 74K. Then that means we're not in a bear market anymore because now we're going up and we're finding new floors, on an uptrend. So
we're going up, Mar. We're going up. Hold on for dear life.
My risk is on going down. I don't have a problem. I know there's a few people that have wrote me, man, but Bar, what do you mean? What if you stay behind Bitcoin? I bought Bitcoin under 60K, under 70K. It's just I'm not willing to take the risk. For me, Bitcoin is just too expensive at 60K, and I'm willing to hold that money and drop it on even stocks or all the types of investment than Bitcoin. I got to the goal where I wanted to sell my Bitcoin at, which is fucking I think more than a year ago already, and I'm just holding on. I'm not a trader. Do I trade? Yeah, I fuck around. I do some trades here and then, But as a long-term investor, like I said, I believe that crypto is about doing your best for timing it and trying to catch an asset like Bitcoin, not all the way in the bottom, but on the down there, and just sell it up there, not all the way on the top. Let the institutions kill themselves to buy the complete bottom and sell on the complete top. And but yeah, man, I'm thinking. I think we got one more correction. It could, look. I'm hoping it could be 60K again. I'm not gonna lie. I want Bitcoin to hold. I want this asset to mature, and for the boomers to say, "Oh shit, this is bullshit." What they were saying. Let me go buy some Bitcoin. I actually rather buy more Bitcoin at 60K, maybe 57K, than see it go down to 45, 48. It's just my price point at 70K, 68K. I'm a greedy ass. That is not my price point for long term. That is not my price point for long term. I also saw a space yesterday how they were flooding the Bitcoiners. I mean, these guys are just fucking clowns. How they were flooding an individual, not specific an individual on space, but they were laughing at the idiot that sold at 90K, and they probably bought a 20, 30K, 40K, whatever it is, and they double their money, for instance. And they're like, oh, they're idiots because, now they're, if they buy a 70K, the percentage that they gain, they have to pay it on taxes. That's not correct because, first of all, not everyone is from the U.S., you morons. Some people actually pay less taxes than that. And second, for someone that bought it at 30K and they probably sold it at 90K, they probably hold it for over a year. So if you do the math from 30 to 90K, that's a $60,000 gain. That's not 20% tax. Trust, especially when you're married and you've been there over a year. You put a few fucking miles on your car as a cash flow business, and you basically offset those fucking gains. I'm telling you. So these people, they're just mad that they stay holding Bitcoin and they didn't take profit. But yeah, man. Listen, Zach. I seen this before. I could tell you the dates. 23. January to February, 23 or 22, I can't remember. Goddamn. Yeah, 2022. We pumped from 35, 34K to like almost 50K. It was like 47K. And everyone was saying, we're back, baby, we're back. I seen this story before, man. Does it mean I'm wrong? Yeah, I'm probably wrong, but I'm just not willing to risk it right now, man. And especially altcoins, man. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm buying some altcoins. Like I told a few of you guys, I'm buying the new ones, the hype tokens. I'm not ready yet to go all in on the dinosaurs. I do want to buy some Avalanche, some Caspa, some more Ethereum, but I'm not ready for those dinosaurs yet, man. I got to see,
Mar. All right. Question to you. You say you're waiting for Bitcoin to get under 60K again.
Yeah.
Give me a scenario where that happens. Throw at me what you think is going to get us back down to that.
Well, you made a scenario like some new shit, a war or like something.
Well, just what you predict is going to happen to get us back down there. What's going to make that happen? And what we're seeing right now today.
It's just the sentiment of the market. We're in a bear market, man, and people just think that this bear market is going to last. I could be wrong, man. Like I said, if I'm wrong, I have a portfolio. I'm ready to go because I'm not that greedy. You understand? Like I bought Bitcoin at 60K. There's motherfuckers that are waiting for 30K, 40K. I'm not willing to take that chance. So I'm positioned already. I might completely know. I'm like, I want to say probably 40% there, maybe 50%, but I'm waiting. I'm greedy. I'm just waiting for a cheaper price. And it's just, we're in a bear market. I think I said this in the space. It doesn't matter how many great news we get. We're not going to pump hard. And then one little bad news, like this motherfucker, we didn't do a deal with Iran. Boom, Bitcoin from 74 back to 70K. You know, in a bull market, that news doesn't even matter. They wouldn't even give a fuck about it. You know, we're in a bear market, and I think we're gonna be in a bear market. I want to say we'll start a real uptrend around September, October, maybe of this year. You know, and then we'll get into that massive bull market later on next year. Maybe even early this year, we could start pumping hard. You know, late this year. But we're just in a bear market, and for me, a bear market, it doesn't matter what good. Look at all the news we get from crypto every day on X, bro. Imagine this shit back in 21. Holy fuck, you know, and even 23. Imagine we're getting all these great news in 23. But I just feel we're in a bear market. We are in a point right now where people are just waiting, and there's more selloffs. There's more people selling than more money coming out than coming in. Basically, you know, it's just that season.
So it's not to you. It's not bullish to you that we're in a quote unquote bear market, but we're holding a $2.52 trillion market cap total.
No, I'm super bullish that we're holding, man. And trust me, I want to see Bitcoin hold 60K. I've said it here for weeks. I would love to see Bitcoin hold, around 60K. So the boomers could say, holy shit, this thing didn't dump like they say 80 fucking percent, 85%, 75%. But I just don't buy it yet, man. I just don't. When you see the cycles, man, Bitcoin going 85, 75% over the last, I don't know, 3 cycles has been, it's just not, even though the first 2 cycles that weren't, that liquidity, so it was, the asset wasn't mature. I get all that. But I think I just don't trust those fucking holders, man, from Bitcoin, those, the OGs, bro. And I still think we got a leg down, bro, under 60. You know? But even, I'll tell you what, man, I got to see that leg down, because if it gets to 64, 63, and it starts holding there and I see it behave very good, then I'll probably say, fuck that. I ain't taking no, I'm not taking it. Your shit changes, man. Your plans change. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not taking a chance for $48,000 Bitcoin. I'm buying in at 62, 63 here again, you know?
What happens if you don't get that entry?
No, just move on, man. Get that money, put it on other assets. I mean, look, for anyone that has no experience in crypto, 62, 63 all in, it's not bad. But for someone like me that have experience, that I could turn that money into probably even more gains from putting it into Bitcoin, which, knowing the flow of a bull market, knowing what means to take, who's in them, where to make money in meme coins, new assets, new pre-sales, which you all hate. I could turn that money into even more. I just don't want that headache. I'd rather just have it on Bitcoin. But I'm greedy. I've said it out. That's one of my flaws. That's one of many of our flaws. I'm greedy, and I want Bitcoin cheaper. I want it cheaper, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my thing, I'm going to get to Matthew too, real quick. My thing is, I've got my automatic buys set. So if we sweep lower, I'm ready, man. I'm ready at 60. I'm ready at 55. I'm ready at 50 right now. So it's like, in the meantime, though, I'm in the market. So if we go up, let's go, man.
And to say this to Clifford, the individual that did not, as a long-term holder or as a cycle holder, they sell whenever they feel the cycle is going to be over, blah, blah. Whoever didn't buy Bitcoin under 65K, at least 30% of the portfolio, they don't know what the fuck they were doing. Which, that's what I did. I bought around 40%. Maybe I'm 50% all the way in already. I mean, I just wasn't willing to take that chance. I was willing to say, fuck it. Even if it goes to 40 or 50, I'm willing to buy more. But I'm not going to full clip at 60-something K, So whoever didn't position themselves at 62K, 65K, they're probably shitting balls right now.
Exactly. Like I bought 4 times on February 6th, man. I remember the day. Like that day when it went down 11%, and it was like that was peak fear. That was a peak fear moment, and you gotta buy on those days, regardless if you think you're gonna go lower in that bear market, whatever. When you get those peak fear and it's all over kind of thing all over the timeline, like, that's your signal, man. And I didn't catch it right at the bottom, to your point, Mar, but I bought at 67, bought at 65, bought at 63, bought at 61, something like
Yeah,
that.
put those limit buys, man. Put those limit buys.
Yep.
Yeah, people are so lazy, man, to put limit buys. I don't get it.
Well, you don't have to think about it, man.
Money. No, because when you put the limit buy, you're already saying, I'm buying it. So you get nervous that it goes there, and then you buy it, and then it goes even more down. It's committing that you're buying it.
You just got to layer them down, though, like to your point, right? Just have a bunch of them. Just layer it.
Yeah, dude. One thing I am hurting a little bit at, fuck, I go back, I'm like, how could it be so stupid? 20, I'm not going to say $20 because that's the exact bottom, but I want to say $24, $25 fucking a hyper liquid, man. I'm like, and the thing is, you see the price now. I'm like, I'm so stupid, but no one can tell the future. No one knows, and it's crypto.
Yep. I got it at 29,
fuck.
bro, and I'm so pumped. I sure. I mean, I wish I'd have bought more. I wish I'd have bought it sooner. All of that, but you know what? I'm in at 29. I bought more at 31. My average cost like $30. I'm riding what I got now into the good times of this market, and I'd say if we get a pullback to like 35-ish or lower, I'd probably load up a little bit more. If Bitcoin came back and hype came back to like 35, 34, somewhere in there, I'd probably load up there. Otherwise, though, I'm ready to ride this one. We'll
Zach, and this is the only space, man. Not to like say we're. I could say we're the only ones because a lot of spaces they talk about long-term holding. That's it. And then they talk about trading. But I see that a lot of spaces don't talk how people are positioning themselves on the long-term portfolio or the next cycle, which is a long-term portfolio. Because if you're planning of selling on the next all-time high for Bitcoin, it's probably going to be 2 years from now or plus, So that's a long-term hold. A lot of people don't talk about their strategy or how they're,
What's your strategy, Mar? What are you buying for your long-term bag?
Right now, remember I said I'm buying new hype coins little by little, not being super aggressive yet.
That's not long term. I'm talking about long term. What's your long term strategy?
Like how many? Like years and years?
No, like what are you buying? What assets are you buying for your long term strategy portfolio?
Well, the last one I've been buying is for Liberty Finance. That's the one I've been buying to hold for the next year and a half. Haven't even bought that much lately. I've been buying more Crow. I bought some Hyper Liquid at $32, $33. Take it to the next, cycle. And just Bitcoin. The last time I bought Bitcoin was, I think, 64, 65K.
Yeah.
But I haven't been buying that much lately, man. I'm happy with what I have now. Like I said, I'm like 40 to 50% in my long term portfolio. If it's almost like a one asset trade, dude. Like for long term, if you're planning on buying it at this price, and then it doesn't hit your last price, fuck it. I'll take my money to another asset. Like. I don't plan to hold crypto long term, man. I'm holding this shit to the next cycle, and I'm out. I'm probably gonna be out way earlier than you guys. Remember, I got out of Bitcoin on the first pump, on the first top. That was like 106, 107, a year early.
I'm looking at some of the crypto stuff right now. Edge X up 12%, back up to 95 cents. There was a good opportunity there on that dip.
Clifford, I do hold like stocks like AMD. I hold that shit long term. Something about me just in love with AMD, dude. So you're probably my friend. Robinhood. I have Robinhood long term.
AMD is like the best beta play to NVIDIA.
Yeah.
It feels like you're holding NVIDIA,
You guys know that they're related?
Amy, the CEOs are actually related. They're
Really?
first cousins. Yeah.
AMD and NVIDIA.
Yeah, and they talk. I'm finishing the Jensen Huang bio right now. It's fascinating for people who want to read it. Highly recommend. But yeah, they're first cousins, and they kind of have like different approaches to life. But he says that they're not in competition, but like they definitely are.
Yeah, I mean AMD's at what $400 billion market cap, and you're looking at NVIDIA at what $4 trillion. So I mean, you're getting almost 5 trillion now. That's insane. You're getting a nice opportunity for growth, man. I think you got a nice 8 to 10x opportunity with AMD.
I mean,
So you think it can hit? You think it can go to where NVIDIA is?
100%, man. With this
They got
AI
the
build out,
process.
bro. I mean, yeah, like to your point, Cliff, you just said it. We're in the early innings of this AI stuff, man. I think we're in like inning 2 or 3 of a 9-inning game. I mean,
Zach,
I really do.
I think Elon is going to come out with something building his own chips, and it's going to absolutely decimate the.
Well, I wouldn't go all in on the chip side for sure. I agree with you. I wouldn't go all in on the chip side because I think you're right. I think there's some competition. NVIDIA's got so much of the market share. They can continue to just dominate. But I mean, it's more the picks and shovels, man. It's like the infrastructure, the Cypher, the Irons, the TeraWolves, the Core, what is it, Core Scientific, like these assets, right? And there's so many different ways to go and attack this AI build out, like with energy, right? Like I wouldn't go all in on just chips, 100%.
I would say also if you're bullish on chips and you're bullish on AI and you're bullish on infrastructure, then you should be equally bullish on storage and storage capacity, cloud storage. I mean, AI is going to have memory and storage in order to operate. So they work hand in hand. If you're looking only at AI and you're not looking at storage, then you're only 50% into the entire market of that. So
And don't
go
forget
look
about
at what SanDisk has done.
well, yeah, SanDisk has been ridiculous. You're right, man. There's so many ways to invest in this AI sector right now. All the ancillary pieces, and then don't forget about space exploration, man. That's going to be another massive frontier. Amazon just got news. They acquired an $11.5 billion acquisition of Global Star. They're trying to compete directly with SpaceX. So, I mean, that's going to be a next frontier, I think, where you're going to have, it's not you don't necessarily have to get the top names. It's all these beta plays. These companies that are sitting 4 or 5 billion today that are just, they're one contract away from one of these big companies from going to a $4 to $40 billion company.
Yep, exactly what Bloom did yesterday with Oracle.
100%. Yeah, there's going to be tons of these. And I mean, and this is why I think if you're just solely been in crypto for a while, like I know we keep saying it, man, you got to be in all of this, man. Start looking at AI, start looking at the stock market, guys, because it's all converging into one with all this technology, AI, robotics, blockchain. You need to be looking at all of it. If you're an active investor, you can't just be looking in one market. It's becoming one market. That's the thing. Everything's converging. Everything, you know what I mean? Soon we're going to have all on-chain assets and everything. Like you're not going to be looking at these in silos anymore. It's going to just be one big market that includes crypto, commodities, equities, and in my opinion, you need to have a pulse on all of it, man, if you want to win in this next 4, 5, 10-year stretch, Matthew's got his hand up. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys? Just to Mars' point, it's really important that people remember that we, as the World Uncertainty Index, reached a record high in February of this year. The reason why it's okay to be a little bit concerned or bearish here is a number of reasons that I've seen multiple times play out. The first is the world has no idea like what's going on. Like there's no certainty about what's going to be coming in terms of any tweet that could come out, any war or conflict that happens. It's just there's no way for anybody to really believe that they know what the world's going to look like in 6 months, with the exception of some technology infrastructure and some needs and things like that. But I think Mars is prescient to be very cautious about this. lest everybody forget, this is what happens with crypto, right? You see a big drawdown, 20, 30, 40, 50%, and everybody's looking for an excuse to like put their money to work. And so I would encourage people to take maybe a 3-day view, which has been a good strategy for me in my career as an amateur trader, to give it a couple days. Like, let this kind of sizzle out. You got the CPI or the PPI that came out. You've got some inflation concerns, but you have no idea about what this conflict is gonna produce in the next couple days. So, be tepid with this stuff. Everybody looks for a reason to put their assets to work because they either have money burning in their pocket that they just want to see shoot up a couple X, and that's not always going to be the case. I do want to bring an interesting like ecosystem thing here that I haven't heard really anybody talk about, but it's been mentioned on the modern market before, and it's the Venice token and their other token. It's like the it's the earn yield token called DM. So VVV is the ticker for Venice. And what's interesting about Venice is that it essentially, kind of serves as it's on the base blockchain. It's a utility token. It provides access to like AI inference services through their API. So you can use like private and decentralized ways to access AI models. And then you can put those tokens to work that also earn, a yield as basically credits for this protocol. So it's kind of an interesting privacy and AI play together that allows you to use like multiple models. And it's not the DM token that was associated with Facebook, but like if you look at the Venice token, VVV, and you see its reversal from when it was launched earlier last year, and you look at the DM token, which has gone up about 10x over the last year. Just interesting tokens to kind of take a look at in terms of the AI ecosystem.
That's a great call out, Matt. Yeah, man, this thing has been actually on a tear, man, since early February. This thing's been grinding higher. Ranked number 88 on the big board, $450 million market cap, give or take. Definitely, man, VVV. I think this whole AI sector, man, especially these newer assets, again, VVV, new shiny object, man, up over 300% in the last year. Like, this is where the big gains are had in crypto. That's how it's been. You want to get out ahead of it. You want to get these things in their first cycle, and you want to take profits. This is how you win. This is how you've been able to win ever since I've been in crypto. I can't speak about 2019 and before then, but since I've come in 2020, that is literally the blueprint. That is the playbook. Get into these early things that catch a bid and get out ahead of their first big run up, because when risk on hits, those are the things that give you the biggest gains. You take those profits, you put it back into less risky assets like Bitcoin, the S&P 500. That's my playbook. That's exactly how I'm looking at it. Yeah, VVV looks really, really strong right now. This Rave DAO thing continues to go up, man. We haven't really fully addressed this yet.
It's a scam.
Dude, there's no liquidity. I just don't understand.
Zach,
This is crazy. It's
I
ranked
bought it
25 right now.
I bought it at whatever it is on the big dip. I put $100 just to fuck around with it and got out with $60.
Yeah. Yeah, don't go into this thing with size, bro, because you ain't getting out.
Yeah, no. I went in $100. I'm like,
Crazy,
fuck. I
man.
wasn't even $100. Like $92. I had like $92 there. I'm like, fuck it. Let me just. You never know. And then when I saw it was up like 58, I'm like, I'm getting my lunch money for this week. My gas. $58 pays the whole week. Or if you think about it, Zach, some people are like 50. That shit pays my gas for the whole week to go to work, man. Fuck it.
Hey,
Yeah,
can I ask Matthew something?
of course. Man.
Because he's cautious. Matthew, so in your opinion, what's more likely to happen? Since we've seen that the U.S. the Navy has blockaded the Strait of Hormuz, and we've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of oil tankers now heading to the Gulf of America towards Texas to fill up with crude and other oil. What's more likely, in your opinion, to happen? Are we going to see, now that Iran is losing billions of dollars a day and the U.S. is also tracking Chinese sanctioned ships, are we more likely to see an actual agreement, or are we more likely to see an escalation?
That's a good question. I think you're more likely, I think from Trump's perspective, you're more likely to get a business solution out of this than a conflict solution out of this. So if you gave me a coin to toss, I would say that the incentive for people is to push for a ameliorated resolution that helps businesses or helps move things along. I don't think you can go into the midterms where all these tankers can't flow through. If you've seen some of those charts, we're a couple weeks behind the leading indicator of what the shortage of oil really looks like. And if you go on some of these other spaces, there's just this crazy doom and gloom about what's going to happen. It's basically the end of the world. I don't believe that that's necessarily the case, but I think that it's the most uncertain time in the world. And I think anybody trying to make predictions or think that they have any sort of thought about what the real people who control this world are going to do, we're all just pawns in this space, right? So trade accordingly. Dollar cost average is the best real strategy here.
Correct.
Yeah. The other thing, real quick, just from a technical standpoint, if you guys take a look at the Bitcoin weekly chart, you could see how crucial this weekly close is going to be. Look where we are on the Bitcoin weekly. Since the whole February fallout, the early February fallout, where we were basically at this level, and we wicked all the way down to 60 in early February, we are literally right at the point of attack. I mean, we are at the top of the range right now. So this weekly close is going to be crucial. If we close around this level or a little bit lower, I'll be super pumped, because then we just have then we get to look at the week after to see if we can actually stay up. Because the last time we were here at 76, our next weekly close was 67. So that's literally we're back right there again. And the last time we were there is we popped up in mid March, right up to this level. And our next weekly close the next week on March 23rd was at 67.5. So again, we'll see. I mean, we're right there again. And so it's good. But I agree with Mar. I agree with Matthew. Cautiously optimistic, I think, is the way to be. And if you've been in the market but also keeping cash on the sideline, I think you're well positioned. I think you're ready. You've got money in the market. If things rip, okay, you feel the gains. If we come back into the mid 60s, I'll be buying chunks of Bitcoin again.
What if I told you guys the energy value oscillator for Bitcoin? This is the first time that we're beginning to see some real strength in that chart for Bitcoin. And you can see this in Caproli's investments chart. And I would just say, do not discount or downplay the importance of the energy value oscillator. Thank you. Sorry, Zach. Everybody still there?
No, we're still here. My bad, dude. I walked away for a second. I thought you were. I was listening. I had to grab something across the room.
No.
Then I ran back over and I was like, oh shit, Cliff's done talking.
It's just a little quick thing, but yeah, we're seeing strength there.
No, I love it, man. I mean,
Zach, I don't give a shit what's going on in the world, to tell you the truth. When it's time for a bull market, this shit's gonna fucking pop. If there's 2 wars, 3 wars, I think that's great. Who the hell would have thought? I know that we all got free money, but who would have thought that we would have gone in such a massive bull market during a pandemic, bro?
Yeah.
I don't know, Mar, but this one is for Johnny Crypto Seed. It's the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't have a war right now, even if we were only just on the Ukraine war, we will be in a bear market right now.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it just comes back to liquidity, man. I mean, we just need the money printers to go back on. I mean, that's really what it is. in any environment, like regardless of what's going on in the world, if money's cheap, risk on assets go higher. You
Yeah,
know,
but that's going to be
straight up.
tough with insurance with inflation going up. Like they're going to have to hold these rates, if not
Agreed.
increase them.
Agreed. And I think we're really going to find out a lot more when we get Warshin. I think we could still see some volatility from then and now.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
You think it's going to be somebody else?
I think that they could say no. It's possible. I'm not saying it'll happen, but it's possible.
Oh, there's no doubt it could be a last minute flip. I mean, that wouldn't be out of the playbook for Trump for sure.
Also,
They've already. Oh, go ahead, Mask.
Sorry, I wanted to make sure I shared this. Sorry, Matasco, but so I saw this video the other day of these people in an East Asian country. I can't remember which one it is. They're wearing headsets with video cameras on them, and they have to like screw stuff in, and they're doing like all these tangible hand movements all day. And there's hundreds of people in this place, and all of them are wearing these headsets, and it's training AI on how to use hands and digits to be like super dexterous like we are. So I just encourage people to continue looking at like South Korea and the robotics area too, just as a space to have access to other investment opportunities. Robotics is going to be crazy in the next couple of years.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. A couple things across the news desk here. I'm looking at some of my. So I created a kind of news bot, if you will, with Claude, Matthew. I love it, man. It's just a simple like aggregator, but I like put in all kind of different parameters of like what I'm most interested in, and it's kind of it's basically my own curated news feed every day, and it sends me an email. It gives me an update. I think you were telling me about that. Were you telling me about that, or was somebody else that you've done that too?
Yeah, I've done it, and it also like brings in like influencers or people I want to engage with that I may not see, and then provides me comments to provide on their accounts, so you can like reach out to them at scale.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, like I just have all the stuff that I own and all the stuff that's like on my watch list, whether it's crypto or stocks, and it's nice. It's like a curated feed rather than having to individually go around, find your information. Anything relevant to me and my investing thesis is kind of now just sent to me, which is nice. I would encourage everybody to do that. It's really simple to set it up.
100%. And nothing I send you, Zach, is written by AI. It's all written from my heart.
Hey, Zach, real quick, it's in the mobile version of CoinMarketCap. I don't agree a lot of things with CoinMarketCap, but they got some pretty cool features. You can see unlocks and stuff like that. But I saw this. I've never seen this before. But on the desktop version, you see it much better than the mobile.
The little AI chatbot.
No. When you blow up the charts from Bitcoin or Ethereum, and you see the whole history or even the last year. It'll show you like small circles of news that came in during those.
And like milestones and stuff.
Yeah, milestones and stuff like that. You'll see like you'll go to like whatever October 10th, and it'll tell you what happened October 10th, and from that bubble or that circle that it shows. So it's pretty cool. People will go back and learn, about history and why it pumped, why it dumped, and all the news that came in for crypto.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. I like that too. That is a cool feature. Couple things that's relevant to just some things that I look at. Kathy Wood doubles down on Tesla stock. JP Morgan still says it's overvalued. Hims and Hers, the company Hims, they've shifted now beyond the GLP-1 controversy to long-term health platform. They've got new branded drug partnerships, making the business look more credible and durable. They had a big pullback, that stock, but it came after a massive run. But I think it's pretty discounted now still. Hims is down there at $21. Their 52-week high is 70. So that's one that I've dabbled in a little bit. I've added a little bit, but I'm looking to maybe add some more to that one. I think there could be some nice run in that. It's a good retail play, man. Like with the whole, everybody's kind of focused in on, being healthy now and all of that kind of trend. Let's see. Dell and HP stocks are moving. as there's some NVIDIA acquisition rumors surfacing that NVIDIA could acquire either one or both of these companies. So keep an eye on that. Dell and HP. So yeah.
Hey, Zach, I had no fucking idea, dude, that SanDisk was sitting only at 130 billion market cap, bro.
Still, yeah.
Fucking shit. I thought this thing was already like at least 500 bill easily,
Well,
bro.
when it started its run, man, it was
nothing. It was a fucking, well, what? It was at $25, was it?
Yeah, man. They listed in February of 2025, I think around $40. They came down as low as
So what was the market cap on
28.
that shit? I mean, at $900 right now, at 920, I know it took a massive dip now, but at $900 is a holy shit. This thing was like easy, like 2 billion, right?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if I'm doing the math right, but at least under 10 billion.
Yeah,
way less than that.
Yeah, what did they they were founded February 5th, 2024, but they didn't get listed, I don't think, until 2025, so it took a year to get listed, I think. But
so if you got it at $40, what is it now? Like 20, 30x?
Let's see. Yeah, 20, like a 22x roughly, give or take.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing's been,
and that's in a few months.
Crazy,
so,
man.
People talk about stocks not doing shit, you know, and liquidity. That if you got $1 million, bro, and you decide to take this $1 million, you're gonna get $1 million. You know,
it's nuts. Yeah, man. I mean, stocks are no longer in this era, man. Stocks are no longer like just slow grows, man.
That's why I'm saying, Zach, and I know I might sound crazy, but it's something that I used to say, and I'm probably disagreeing with myself now. You know how they say, you know, it's not about timing the market, it's about timing the market. That shit might be changing, bro. It might be about, you know,
Well, I've said that a little bit too. I mean, I think, you know, sure, like time in the market is still what you want. I mean, you want to be in the markets long term. Like I think they're both true. I think time in the market is true, but timing the market's also true. I mean, if you can get in these things at the right time, if you can bulk buy, you don't have to do it perfectly, but if you just bulk buy when sentiment's low and be a little patient and have your big buys come in when prices are lower, yeah, you're going to perform better.
Look, I got a friend, bro, that he has he has quadrupled his ETH holdings from buying on you know, the lows of during COVID in March and February. He, you know, he has quadrupled. I think he went from fucking like 40 Ethereums, whatever it is, to like 160 Ethereum. I think he told me last time, just from timing the crypto market. You know.
Yep. 100%, man. I think, you know, it's not to say you just go away when things are good, but I mean, yeah, man, you want to add most of your positions when things are not good. So, I mean, I think both are true, man. You want to be in the market long term, but yeah, try to time it up a little bit. I mean, just, you know, you don't have to be perfect, but, you know, we go back to that February 6th day when Bitcoin tumbles like that. That's a deploy your capital day, you know?
And you don't have to get out of your whole portfolio. You know, you could mess around with maybe half a Bitcoin, 25% of a Bitcoin. You know, gains are gains.
Yep.
But I think that's what separates crypto mostly from the stock market. That crypto is mostly more like you could time it. You know, especially with the cycles.
Well, like the S&P 500, I put a little bit in that every single week. I don't really care where it is, right?
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't really care. That's just, you know, throw it in the bucket instead of putting it in a savings account. I just put it in the SPY, and this year I've been putting it into the AIPO too. So, you know, I'll take, you know, any revenue my business makes, I take a little small percentage, put it in the SPY, put it in the AIPO, and put it in my high conviction plays, you know, that are more longer term, and then keep some cash there, and then be ready to bulk buy when things really take a hit. And then I look at my individual plays.
Hey, Zach, have you pretty much moved mostly towards stocks and away from any altcoins, or
I am right. No. Right now,
altcoins?
right now, I'm like I'm probably 50-50, honestly. Crypto stocks, right around there. Maybe like 55-45, leaning towards stocks a little bit. But, um, 2021, 2022, I was like 80-20 crypto. And to me, that was just too much. It was just too much. And I slowly but surely kind of consolidated some of my altcoin holdings. I still hold a number of different altcoins, but in terms of like where I've built out larger positions, I just made my Bitcoin position way bigger. Concentrated more on, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB at the top, and then from there, a lot of the new money I'm putting in is going into newer assets like I mentioned, Hype, Monad, and still keeping like a good amount of USDC. I'm actually earning Bitcoin on some USDC right now on Coinbase, at least while they allow that to happen. And then that's just waiting for kind of new things. Like I think there's going to be a ton of new launches that launch at the right time, guys, and you want to have capital for those too. Like one that I'm eyeing is that Pharos. They recently just raised 44 million. We're going to be. I'm basically just signed a contract with them, so I'm going to be helping with marketing on their side for at least the next 3-4 months. They're getting ready for their main net. We're going to have their team members in here and see, man. Hopefully, we can catch like another one of those, SUI type runs, like those newer layer ones that, just capture the mind share and capture the liquidity, capture the momentum. So like that's kind of what I'm doing right now, man. I've just kind of consolidated, and I still hold, I still hold Algorand, Ondo, I hold some Plume, but like they're just smaller positions right now and just more concentrated at the top for me. But I can
Gotcha.
shift that around, bro. Like when we get back full risk on, I might take some of those Solana and go, dumpster diving into Solana meme coins and go play on chain. Like I'll be ready to do that. You know what I mean? Same thing with ETH or whatever. But right now, I'd rather have them situated in those top assets and then, see what happens, see how this plays out, and I'm ready to kind of shift and move as things get better.
Right.
Yep. I mean, that's basically how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, on the stock market side, a lot of my new money over the last 6 months have gone into stocks, and mostly AIPO, ETF, Robinhood, Iron, Cipher, couple of the smaller caps, Applied Digital, UUUU. I have added I added a little bit of Amazon beginning of the year because there was a lot of FUD on Amazon beginning of the year, so I added more there. I've been invested in Amazon since 2020, so I mean my average cost on Amazon's like $100.
Are you worried at all about the warehouse fires? Seems to be like a trend that's beginning now with that.
It's not going to deter me from investing in this stuff. It's I guess like it's a concern, but like not. It's not going to deter me, dude. They're just massive, dude. They're not going anywhere, and they've just underperformed too long, man. I think they're gonna have a big 3-4 year stretch, man, because everybody's writing them off, and it's Amazon, man. I mean, like look what they're doing now with space. They just acquired a company for 11.5 billion. These companies like this, man, that are strapped with cash, they can literally do anything they want. They can get into any sector, any line of work, any business. So whatever becomes the new thing, they can just instantly become a leader. Like, the Amazons, the Apples, the Googles, they can just pivot because they just have money. They have capital.
Exactly. Are you going to work again with these guys with Paul that they're migrating to the frame or not?
I gotta talk to Brian, man. I haven't been able to chat with him. I know he's been busy, but I'd be interested to kind of hear from him and get on a call. And I think we're trying to set that up, man. But I'm just kind of out of the loop on it right now, to be honest with you. It just hasn't been something I've been tracking like close. I know you've been close to it, watching, seeing what's happening, man. But yeah, man, we'll see.
Where the hell's Paid at?
He's still in France. Paris Blockchain Week's going on, so he's out there. He might be heading to Hong Kong next. There's a big conference out there. This dude's been on the road for like 2 weeks.
Man.
But yeah, man, he's making a lot of connections for us. We also just started a marketing Web3 agency, him and I. Actually doing a little Ethereum giveaway for that too, guys. If you want to check out my timeline, you'll find it. Make sure you enter that.
Ethereum?
Yeah, I'm giving away $100 in ETH.
You're giving away an asset that's been on a downtrend for like 5 years. Give some Solana at least, man.
Hey, man,
He's
you can
dumping.
sell it right away. That's fine.
Just gave you literally numbers, Mark, to disprove what you're saying.
He's just trying to trigger you, bro.
I know he is.
Yusuf, have you been unmuted there? What's up, man? You with us? All right. We'll go to Mutasco. What's going on, bro? What's happening?
SpaceX is now projected to go to 2 trillion.
Are they gonna wrap?
Interesting.
Are they gonna wrap Tesla into SpaceX, man? Are they gonna combine these companies?
We'll find out.
That's
They're
gonna
probably
be. It's
gonna
gonna be
do that.
crazy, man.
Yeah, we'll find out. I think this run that you guys are seeing, and I think Clifford, the information that I shared with you, as you can see, between Ethereum and Bitcoin, I'm a little bit concerned because Bitcoin, you can almost rely on Bitcoin now as a signal of where rotation is headed. And it doesn't look like Bitcoin is catching that rotation yet. Interestingly enough, you want Bitcoin to actually outperform a lot of sectors when there's a lot of chaos. But this test was very interesting because we didn't see that play out. You would think that when there's panic and chaos and geopolitical uncertainty, that people will move money into Bitcoin, but it was the direct opposite. So what I do see, and I think Bitcoin is telling us this, is that there's still something that Bitcoin is watching. And until that is clear, you're not going to see that massive momentum on Bitcoin. And I think I align with what you said about, the halving. We're kind of halfway there. But what is also interesting to check out is, I think since the last halving, we now do like 450 Bitcoins a day. You multiply that over, a year, and then you estimate. Now, STRC did like 13,000 plus Bitcoins just yesterday. So the halving becomes irrelevant. And if you add up, since the supply is capped, nobody gets to dilute it. So if the front running is in accumulation, the more logical direction that you can see Bitcoin's price moving, because there's a lagging effect, right? The buying happens before the move comes. People will try to explain why Bitcoin is moving now, but right now, if you're watching, you can almost certainly see that there is a massive upward bid on Bitcoin coming, and it will be driven largely on the accumulation that has been happening right now, and that people are not seeing it on the chart. So if you look at what I sent you, the contraction, the expansion is kind of like slow, but it's telling me that the move is going to be like massive. And I don't know how far it's going to go, but we'll all live to see it. I'm here when it's down. I'm here when it's up. I don't care either way. I just know that as long as I'm living and I'm healthy, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to watch this play out. But I think Ethereum, just given how much, my altcoin portfolio is looking good this morning. It's funny enough, you don't need to do anything, and then it just goes up. And you make money doing nothing, maybe in sleep. This is fascinating. Like, if you do the allocation early, it's usually joyful to watch how it plays out. But I have a long view on this, so I'm not worried either way. I mean, it has to change my life drastically for me to be like, trying to get out. But for now, that's what I see. But one of the key things that I'm saying about Bitcoin, that you can almost look at Bitcoin as the fire alarm, is that it is probably pricing in Kevin Wash's situation. I've always said this many times. The first the Fed chair test is dominant. You cannot ignore that, and I think that is what Bitcoin is trying to price in, because historically, when that test comes, if you guys remember when Jerome Powell got in 2018, 2019, the repo crisis happened, right? Nobody would have predicted that somehow we're going to see some cracks in the repo market until it played out. And guess what happened? It was swift, but you got a deal. And if you look historically, the margin compression between when the Fed gets confirmed and when the test comes, and the test is not even usually about, I mean, as you know, Zach, you talk about Jerome Powell a lot. He always talks about data dependent. We're moving from data dependent Fed chair to a Fed chair that somehow is not sounding hawkish, but he's also sounding more like growth, right? He wants to grow the economy. And the way he wants to do that is combination of deregulation. And he also is already figuring out a way to get the Fed funds rate target rate down by about 50 basis points. So if we can factor in how long the market usually prices in these effects, you can almost certainly see this play out right after the midterms, where everybody is kind of giving up and kind of confused that, oh my God, the Democrats is bearish, is that, and then the market would just run, right? That's what I'm estimating, I'm seeing, and based on what I've looked at, I think Kevin Wash's confirmation, there's what we call the credibility test. The credibility test, the market would do it no matter what. It almost certain that they're going to do it. As to historically, the equities have always corrected about 5 to 15% when this test has happened. So if there's a drawdown, expect to see it maybe 1 week to 6 weeks once Kevin Wash is confirmed. This is just based on historical precedents, okay? It's not like I'm not predicting anything. I'm just looking at the past and saying maybe if it repeats, this is what it's going to look like. So if you're taking a run here, if you're long, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're trying to just huddle through some risk position, factor these things in because they're going to play out. And I don't know how they're going to fit this all in because we're all seeing the whole the private credit situation going on. They're meeting the banks. I don't know what initiative they're going to spit out there. But we know that this is an issue. How they do it, we don't know. How the market responds to it, we don't know. So I'm just a little bit cautious from here because until after the election, I don't think there's going to be any confidence full blown on into getting the market running. And maybe what Kevin Wash will do, like I said, he just wants to grow the economy. And if he can grow the economy, as I said, I'm gonna preface this with Scott Bessent. He has what he calls the 3 arrows, right? Deficit 3%, grow the economy 3%. That has not been achieved. In fact, the GDP is going the opposite direction. So usually, if you're trying to use common sense, if you listen to Kevin Wash and you say, you know what, this is what Kevin Wash wants to do, you also want to bet on what will the market tell Kevin Wash to do. And if you don't believe in that, it might play out and it might wreck your portfolio. So you better be paying attention to the possibility of the market doing the direct opposite against him. But Kevin Wash's confirmation is a dominant factor in this market. Do not dismiss it. The other thing is the Clarity Act. It's looking clear to me, and I'll be shocked. I don't have this in my bag that they're gonna pass this, but I'll take a surprise if it works out. That will be a huge deal also. If you guys remember in 2008, 2009, 2010, there was what they called the Dodd-Frank Act, right? They've castrated that entire rule since then, because Trump came in, he neutralized some rules within the Dodd-Frank, and I don't know now even if it's effective. View the Clarity Act as a regulatory, I call it plumbing for the institutions. Now, how they respond to it, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if they shock the market by getting this through, there will be a positive bid on that alone in terms of reaction, right? What's going on with your space? It looks like the listeners just went out. Are you guys listening? Are you hearing me or not?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we're here. Okay, cool.
Zach, don't sound so sad, buddy. It's a Green Day.
What's up?
I was just telling you, don't sound so sad. It's a Green Day. We're happy here.
I would have been happier if we powered through that 76 flat, but we took the liquidity all the way up there, so now we wait. Now we're going to reject and come back to maybe 72.3. We're not above 80, so I'm not excited yet. It's just leverage flushes up and down with the whales. I've seen it. They're all opening. They're very descriptive about when they open. So, $35 million trade, $100 million trade, nothing crazy.
You think we can
zero
go back?
spot buyers, except for Michael Saylor last night, $1 billion. We know how that goes.
Zach, you think we'll get back to 60? Is there, like, what is your probabilities? Like,
we haven't priced in any real financial crises. We just priced in the rage baiting, and we priced in the I'm gonna say, what do the people call it? Not engagement farming. What do you call it? Narrative shilling. It's both directions. So they say something bullish, they say something bearish. They say something bullish, they say something bearish. Or they do something extremely bearish, they do something bullish. They're just flushing the leverage because no one's actively buying these assets. So the only one who actually, what did he use? The money from STRC, and he went and bought $1 billion in Bitcoin, Sailor, last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Tom Lee bought another, whatever, he now owns 3% of ETH. But I'm sure that's redistributed to his clients or whatever they may use it for.
Yeah, he's just holding it, though. He's just holding
The
it.
IMF released a statement just now. They said member states need to prepare for a market dysfunction liquidity squeeze. Bingo. There we go.
Yeah, we were just at
That's
76. Now we're under 75, so that's probably
There
why.
it is.
We're basically at the top of the range, right, Zach? I mean, unless we turn this into like some level of support.
We need 80.
Yeah, like
We
80
need
and then a
80, yeah.
pullback back here would be
Healthy.
interesting.
We have broken out of the diagonal, but I mean, they're skipping because no one's open spot. You know what I mean? That's not really like girthy, healthy candles keeping us here. So you just get these engulfing. Like if you look to the left and you open the 30-minute, you see how it wicks straight up and wicks straight down on those reds. It's not really green and holding. There's no one actually here. It's just all leverage.
Yeah, it's not new spot buying, retail coming back. Yeah.
So for those who don't know what that means later when they do sell off spot, it goes straight through all these levels down. Because there's no accumulators, there's no whales protecting, there's no spot buyers defending. It's just all leverage. So when we gap down, gap down's hard, or we gap up hard, depending on which way we're at. Yeah.
Similar to what happened in early February.
Correct. Everybody gets all bullish, everybody gets all, ego, and then they flip it on them.
Yep.
I really hope we clear 80 with some strength, retrace, and then try one more time, because then we'll actually be out of here.
Yep. Cautious optimism, I think, has been like kind of what a lot of people have been saying, and I agree. I mean, it's good to see. Awesome. Especially if you were accumulating like in the mid-60s. You're like, okay, like you feel good. Knowing that, hey, we could probably still come back down here at some point, but if we don't, cool. Made some good plays. If you're long-term just, adding Bitcoin, for example. But yeah, man. How about on the stock market side, Zach? Do you pay attention a lot over there now, or?
We just share a lot of insights, but we don't really participate there. All of ours are legacy stocks, and they're up. I'm not worried about them. They're, when I retire.
What do you own over there? Like the Apples, the Amazons, the Googles?
I'm
NVIDIA.
ridiculously low on all of those. Yeah.
Okay.
So I won't touch them though until I retire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the shit, man. Yeah, I wish I knew what the hell was going on when I was.
I just wish I got more Nvidia down there. You know what I mean? I was like, who would have thought? You know what I mean? I would have thought that they would have at least had some competition, something, nothing. You know, they just had this like, I'm going to say, circle of people just reinforcing Nvidia. You know,
I feel like once they crossed over $1 trillion, it was like so hard to just continue to buy it, but
right
now it's almost $5 trillion.
Something massive has to shake out at NVIDIA, but structurally, I mean, I listened to his Lex Friedman podcast, and I could tell there's a lot that people are mispricing about what they've been able to do technically within the hardware market. So again, sometimes it's like there are some hidden things within stocks that you can't see, but these guys have a runway. They have a long runway to go. They're not going to just get displaced like that easily. So,
Zach, you could have got it in on SanDisk.
Yeah, that was a good one. Who saw that one coming though? You know, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. Sorry, guys.
I just hope I still have my dry powder sitting there. If any shock happens, I will be buying like a madman, like on anything that I find. But if they don't, that's fine too. But I'm waiting. We'll see what happens. I'm not that greedy. If whatever I have in the market can wait. Whatever I have waiting, if they do break it down, that would be my confirmation to pick what I want the best and just load it up. See what happens.
For sure. I had Coach up here. Let me see if I can get him back up here. Coach, request again, man, if you want to come up. I think he was up here as a speaker before.
Man, I don't know why, but Motasco is the only speaker that it feels like he's sitting next to you, not on the phone talking to you. Like everyone else sounds like you're talking to, like through an app or something, but Motasco feels like he's sitting right next to you.
Hey, Ma, please don't bring any fight in this space. I don't know why you think about all these things. Sometimes they're interesting. But yeah, I'm sitting right next to Zach.
What kind of mic do you have, Motasco?
Zero. It's literally my iPhone.
Damn.
Let's see here. Let's see if anybody else wants to come up. We'll send an invite to Oscar and Leslie. And Coach, too. Coach was up here for a minute. Edge X continuing to grind up a little bit, up 14%. Zach, what's your take on this damn rave, dude? Holy shit. This is such a scam.
What's the question?
This is like there's no liquidity. How long can this last? When are we shorting it? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm grabbing breakfast. What was the question?
When are we shorting rave, and when's this madness going to stop?
I'm not touching that. We took the scalp on the way up. I was in at 2 and out at 250, and that's just been scalping up until then. What are we at now? 10 or 12? Or my
16.
first price projection was 10, and then I was going to go for 20 next. So there you go.
16.25.
Wait,
Not
what?
financial advice.
It's insane.
Okay, say that last part again, Zach.
I said I was first in at $2, and I said it was insane because it was already up a 10x, and I was probably going to go into like $10 or $20 based on the momentum and supply. But when we found out that there was a 90% bundle, we just didn't. A few of them scalped it all the way up, but the risk is way too high for the rollover. Zach XOT ran an article late last night as well saying something similar. So the guys are scalping it, but they're not staying heavy. They're not staying in. But my first price target was 10 and then 20. So if it's already at 16, it's probably going to push a little bit more, but I'm not taking that trade. It's too far. So I'd be waiting at 21 or 22 if you really want to sort it, but I wouldn't recommend that because it's so illiquid. You're competing against limited supply, 10%, 8%, whatever it is.
Yeah, man. It's like, who the hell is buying this at this point?
So it just came down to 1310 or right around that range.
Look at how it moves, though. It's all shallow moves.
What is it?
Rave.
And
Rave.
Oh man,
I've been scalping it.
I've heard it's on Zach XPT's list, and that's just that.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at his.
The other one, not me.
not even worth looking at.
Up over 6,200% on the week. That's freaking wild.
That's what
Yeah,
you do with insider and scam coins.
You seem to have some, I don't know, Zach, did you dig into the bundle at all?
90%.
What was that?
90%. Zach XPT last night. The other one.
Hell yeah, that sounds like one I want to get in there.
Yeah, that would be like a beautiful short down because I think generally, I mean, it's just always greedy people. Like, there's no question about that. You can almost see the incentive. You're not going to have somebody genuinely saying, you know what, I'm just going to, whatever. There's always a high chance it's going to just collapse. But this is also Ethereum, so there's always cost. For those that talk about fees, there's a cost to trying to clip out. Solana is different. Like, people don't care. They can just, you know what, F it, I'm out. So that becomes a feature that can create some stickiness. Not that they don't want to, but, you know, if you're a reasonable person and you're not, like, under the influence of some alcohol, you're not going to, like, just, like, clip out because you get the exit tax of, you know, depending on what time you're trying to exit and the congestion on the line and there's so many factors. So you have to be blind enough to just say, you know what, oh my God, you know, you're not even looking at market cap to liquidity ratio. You're not looking at you're not considering nothing. You're just like, I'm out. And then you get wrecked on your way out. You're like, what just happened? So
Yeah, man.
What was a recent event that happened? The guy lost how much on Aave? That was like that wasn't even like a hype situation. Somebody just like clipped out and didn't understand the mechanics of cross-chain pool mechanics and just got himself wrecked. So you're gonna see these things play out.
He clicked 99% slippage because that's perfectly healthy. 14 million, 19 million, something like that.
Yeah, it's awful.
Just because you have money doesn't mean you're smart.
Yep. Coach, are you here?
Yeah, I see Coach up here now. Coach, what's up?
Hey guys, what's happening? Good morning.
What's going on, man?
Oh man, last day kind of tax bullshit. I hate it.
I hear that, dude. I'm finishing all my estimates because I always do the extension or whatever.
Estimated.
But I pay the man first. A bunch of estimates all year long.
That sucks. I hate estimated taxes. You know. Oh yeah, what'd you do last year? Okay, that's what you're going to do this year. Yeah. Okay, send us money now, and we'll hold it for a year. You know.
It does. It does give you a little level of what's the word? Relief. Just, you know what I mean?
Well, I never liked paying April. You pay your taxes and you pay estimated the same day, and so it's just a big chunk of money. You know, if you're paying taxes.
I got a good amount back last year though, so that was cool. But I overpaid, so hopefully they're happy.
Yeah, they're happy. They got to hold their money for a year, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyway, we'll get through this today, and I can maybe get back to other stuff. Some comments on Bitcoin today. We hit Liberation Day bottom today, 75,785, I think it was. I don't know why it's coming back down, but we're
76 flat, baby, from the bottom. Didn't make it through though.
It didn't go through, right? So, but for me,
That's where we come pre-charted. No excitement, just levels.
I work off charts, you know that.
There we go. Amen, brother.
So, I see, again, gosh, I'm saying, a lot. What's up with that? Again, we passed the Liberation Day or hit it and it turned back down, whatever. On my charts, we're in bear flag 2 is what I call this level. And, the upside of the channel now is 80. The downside is 69. So that's kind of where, if you're watching and trading the channel, that's where I'm seeing it right now. We're going back to 2018, and I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything like that, but in 2018, from April 2nd, 6,500, it went to 10,000 May 7th. Let's see, then it went to, after that, it went to 5,800, so a 50% drop. June 28th, I'm trying to read my notes, I didn't write very good. Then back up to 85.31, July 26, then November 6, back down to 66. It went from November 6, it went from 66.40 to 31.62 and bottomed in December. And then that was your bottom of that cycle. It went to 14,000 July for the next year. So, that's kind of what I look at from the long-term perspective. In 2020, we went from 39.5 to 25 May 15th. It channeled. Then see June, I'm looking at 14. I can't even read my freaking writing. I'm sorry, guys. 1440 to 14.7. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, it dropped pretty hard, and then it bottomed out, and most people do look at the last cycle. November 22nd, it went from 15.5 to 74 in March the next year. So that was the bottom. We've had bottoms in December, the first cycle, but it's the second cycle in December, and the bottom was in November. So, Mar, I don't want to say you're right, and I don't want to say I'm right or anything like that, but we could see this thing break on down towards the end of the year. But right now we're in this long 2-month channel, and there's been some trade opportunities. Again, we're at the top of the channel here. Well, actually 80 is, but the good thing is we're seeing the higher highs and the higher lows. And so just waiting for a breakout, really. We're luckily, those of us who have been DCAing, all my DCAs are on the plus side here. I could think I was in the 72 range. I was in the mid 60s, and then did buy some on that February 6th, same day as you, that conference on the 6th. So I'm trying to decide, maybe I should take a little profit share on that and see if this thing comes back down. And anyway, everybody, you do your own thing. I'm just sharing what I see here. And as always, appreciate your space. I'm hoping the stock market will get a bounce. We got to get through all this crap in the world. It's just, I haven't seen anything like this in a really, really long time. The head MF in charge is really running his mouth a lot, and I'm not happy with that. Anyway, I'll be quiet.
This is what I voted for, okay, Coach? I want grandmas working on DoorDash who are definitely not paid actors, just pretending they can deliver shit to the White House. It's great.
Right? $100 tip.
I'm super happy with the opportunities that I've been given.
Adjusted for inflation, it should have been 120, okay? That's what I'm saying. Because now she can only buy the gas to go drop it off, okay? That's what I'm saying. Messaging.
That's true. How grandma get through security, right?
She was a paid operator. They already got her.
Yeah,
I'm super
right.
happy with the opportunities that I've been given in the 2 years or year and a half that Trump has taken office.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I don't like talking about politics a lot, but I guess I did bring it up, right? But I'm a fiscal conservative. That is what it is,
Well, just think, without all of these issues and this drama and everything else, where would crypto be at right now? I'm sure if you've been accumulating, much higher. But how many people would have had the amount of assets they're holding right now if they've been DCAing this entire time? Would they still hold that same amount?
On this one.
Yeah, well, I've been buying the blood, so I'm super happy.
DCA, if you're DCAing at 126,
no, that's buying the top.
Happy, right? So,
that's buying the top.
I understand.
I haven't bought. I'll tell you guys this. I haven't bought Bitcoin. It's probably been 2.5, maybe longer than that, maybe 3 years now.
I hear you.
Yep.
Did you guys just see this? Was that Morgan Stanley that did the Bitcoin ETF? And now Goldman Sachs is also filing for it? They're doing like a premium ETF. Did you see it?
EdgeX on the run, man. Threw it out there at like 95 cents here on the space. It's up at 101. It's running. Big green candle on the 4-hour. My bad. Go ahead, Matasco.
I don't think people are ready for what's coming on Bitcoin, guys. This is like.
Wait, what did you just read?
Blows my mind.
What did you see?
Like
ETFs from the banks.
The G-SIPs. These are the G-SIPs guaranteed by the government, the United States government, that are literally now filing for ETFs on Bitcoin. And we don't even talk, like we see it and we don't even think that this is significant. This is a huge deal. Huge deal. Like, these people have a guarantee since 2008 by the U.S. government. So if the Bitcoin that we all love ends up in their hands, that is I call it like, if it's bad, the government's going to say, no, we can't let this happen. Okay, they're called the G-SIPs for a reason. And for me to see that's interesting. Regardless of how you look at it, these are like the blessed banks of the global financial network. Literally now appreciating the fact that, hey, we can get into this too. And by the way, we have the
margin. They don't really care what they list.
What was that?
They just want the fees, the margin, and the IBIT complement.
Right.
They don't give a shit about that. They're basically like, I'm not going to name any exchanges. They'll list anything. And they need to list it so that way they get because this is what the biggest problem is. I have a few buddies at those wealth managers, and one of the biggest complaints is we've been getting asked about Bitcoin for 10 years, and we keep telling our clients no, and we don't typically tell them no. So this is their version of them not telling them no.
Right.
I just like the richest people on earth and getting a phone call from your $1 billion clients and saying, sorry, good luck. Guess what they're going to do next? They're going to pull money out of your fucking bank, and they're going to go buy it themselves.
Right. And then your fee revenue is going to go down like a meme coin. So they don't want that, and that's their
carrot. They want where wealthy people put their money. That's it. Yeah. Even if it means nothing, even if it loses it, they want to be able to have the social accolade, if you will.
Yep. So. Yep. No, I agree with you.
Why they buy hideous cars? Why they buy exotic wives? Same thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think the part you said about the fee revenue is literally the addiction. You know, it's the addiction. They can't.
I mean, look in the dark pools of Aster the day after the entire crash on 10/10. Aster had $1 billion in volume in a single day. Yep. In a dark pool, mind you, not even a main pool.
Yeah.
What's the fee? What's 1% on $1 billion?
Yeah,
that's one pool.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, man, guys, I'm bullish long term. This space is like, yeah. Maybe I'm in a different bucket, and I'm okay with that.
The chart has not priced in that excitation.
Yep.
I'm bullish all the time.
Oh my
Tesco.
god.
I'm bullish. I'm bullish even when it crashes.
I'm bullish on Leslie. I'm bullish on Clifford.
Let's go.
Not so bullish on Mar. I need to get in
I'm
trading.
bullish on the stocks. Which I'll go to.
I'm bullish on Zach AC. I can't wait to hang out on your space real life when the hysteria is moving, because that's when you're gonna make a lot of money. Like you
Well,
would
that's what I
look
keep
at.
telling these guys what they're trading for. And what they're trading for is they're trading for liquidity to return. This
Oh.
is just little pup. These are pup squeak pops. You know what I mean?
Oh my god,
Clifford,
guys!
Clifford, you know when they fucking used to run these vector candles and they meant it. You know?
Oh my god!
Everybody's giggling and giggling and printing, and then it's like, oh crap, it's all over. You know? But it's good. You know, it's good for a while. Yeah.
I know you don't follow me.
Zach AC. I'm gonna pull my couch and I'm gonna sit on your spaces all day. I have to negotiate with my wife and my kids and say, hey guys, hold off a little bit. Because I know that, that's when the craziness, like, I mean, yeah, I get, man. And you're like probably the most cleanest, technical, like, I like your stuff, man. And I think that's where the utility and the productivity of it kind of comes in handy. So for anybody like, and some of these spaces are going to be like 10,000 people listening in. And you can tell almost maybe 90% of those, they don't understand liquidity. They don't understand market cap. They don't understand
I thought you were going to say they were
whatever. They're
bots.
just showing money.
Hi.
Bots can't understand anything. Okay.
X money. So I was reading something. I think I bookmarked it. Hold on, let me see. Hopefully I did. Yeah. The whole Nikita stuff, teasing a crypto fix. Did you guys see that? He posted, crypto's had a rough year. Maybe we should launch something to fix it early this morning around 9 a.m. There's a good thread on it. It said, if you pay attention to what X has been doing for the past 14 days, they're literally building WeChat Pay for Web3 right in front of us. Here's the actual sequence. First, look at the math. X's ad revenue's flat. Subscriptions cap out at 200 mil. P2P fiat transfers have zero margin. If Musk really wants an everything app, he needs transaction fees. Coinbase printed $4 billion last year for a platform with 500 million users. Native crypto integration isn't just a fun feature. It's the only way to replace ad revenue. But you can't drop a native wallet or trading terminal onto a timeline filled with drainer links. That's why last week's massive bot purge, killing 200 plus crypto bots per minute, wasn't just a UX update. It was a mandatory compliance sweep. You have to scrub the platform clean before you deploy consumer financial products. Now look at who's building it. They didn't hire regular devs to clone Venmo. They grabbed Nikita Bear, former Solana advisor for consumer apps. Then they poached Benji Taylor, the head of design at Base and ex-CPO at Aave Labs. They stacked the roster with heavy-hitting DeFi UX veterans. None of this timing is an accident. Look at the April sprint. Early April, X Money rolls out fiat rails in 40 states. April 9th, massive crypto bot purge begins. April 14th, Nikita tests the water with the crypto teas. And then on April 17th, X Chat standalone app is going to be launching. So they this guy that wrote the thread.
That's already out.
Perfectly
You know what would
coordinated
help?
product launch
You can
sequence.
download it now, by the way.
Nice.
You know what would help? What would help, Zach? Also, with crypto Twitter, quit freaking shadow banning people. That would help a lot.
Yeah, man, that's always been.
Well, it doesn't hurt us, Clifford. We don't have many followers, right?
We're a free speech
minority.
I think
We're a
the
free
bot
speech
purge.
platform.
I think the bot purge stopped on my platform, which is good. It's actually good to know that now it's like, all right, I lost like about 2,500, 3,000 followers, probably all bots. So it went on for a little while too.
I think, Zach, what they may be doing is, I heard people that shill crypto are getting kind of, and I immediately was thinking about what product they may have, like, in secrecy.
So when I
that
looked
will be
into
coming
that,
out.
it was mostly people who have just come out of nowhere for the first time and have like started it. Like those are the ones, like I've had an X account or Twitter account since 2009. Like I've been on this platform like literally since its infancy stages. So like I think they were more or less looking at like new accounts that just literally are created to shill something. You know what I mean? Like people will just create hundreds of accounts to shill their new meme coin or whatever. Like they're going after that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
More or less like, and not as much of like the established people who've been here who are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I read it. That's how I read it.
Because I hear
Which
people
that's good.
sometimes like, this is my account, but I'm going to create this just to shill random stupid meme
Correct.
coins. Okay.
They'll have 20 accounts and 19 of them are just to, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I think that's what they're getting rid of, which I agree with that. I mean, we need less of that.
Yeah. But do you think they're gonna probably create another lane of this subscription where if you have that subscription, you have more boosting, and then you can launch a token and shill it. Go ahead. I hear you.
Did you guys? Was it quiet for like 5 minutes?
Oh no, we were here.
We're talking.
I must have run. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. If you had something to say.
No, so there's this middle ground, and the old guard is still commanding the direction. By the way, it's not too new. So they have to make a decision. Do you want? Okay, so it's easier to think of it this way. So Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan agreed they're going to do a joint stablecoin, which means that they're going to share the rails, or a coin that could go cross-chain between them. So that kind of, what is that, like 70%, 60% of U.S. volume? So allowed to make their own stable coins, which is what Elon's making. And they're going to have their own ecosystem coin. So think of it this way. Zach, when you're monetized and when, I don't know if you get paid out by X or if you know anybody who does, but can you use that for other things in the platform? Can you use that for other things in the platform?
No, it just directly goes to your Stripe account. So you attach it to your Stripe account. I don't think you can then pay for I don't know, actually. That's a good question. Mine just goes immediately. I have direct deposit set up with it. So it's just...
The easiest way to think of this is dollars or liquidity is used as a liquidity layer for an ecosystem. So the thought process would be that those dollar coins could exist in his ecosystem and he'd be the bank and you guys would be the accounts. So you'd use your account to pay for subscriptions for yourself or for others, or if you're a content creator, ad or monetization, uptrending, you get the idea. So it wouldn't necessarily be locked to any specific fixation of whatever it was. It wouldn't just be like dollars for you being paid out to your bank. It could be dollars for positioning, for paying for, like, let's say you give the subscription to Metasco, or you want to have an uptrended tweet and you pay for that. So you position it in a way that it becomes exchange, not just specific to any, I'm going to say, isolated thing, you know? That's what the goal is. And then eventually it evolves into being able to tap your phone card or whatever at like a POS, you know, where you're point of service. So that's the other piece too that people aren't talking about. Like, how is he going to get it out to the Visa rails? You know, is he going to have to get it out to the Visa rails? You know, that's the bigger question. But I think the first portion was prove that it works. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. So he has proved it works. He's using it for the influencers. He's using it for the monetization ad rails. It's already in play. You know, so.
Right.
We'll see. Respectfully, I don't think he'll ever be WeChat until he sells a company. He has a likability score of, you know, I'm not going to say a previous leader. I'm not going to say which leader, just be that what it may. But he's too political. He's not, most business owners who do extremely well or people who do really well are apolitical. And he doesn't understand that. He wants to be very polarization. He wants to use the engagement. You know, he's a Rupert Murdoch 2.0 of the modern generation. So, like, that's why most people won't use his products or his cars. I mean, Californians dumped his cars in the open market for a fraction of what they paid for them, just as proof point. So that's kind of like not going to work. So that means you may not even get a lot of people in California using X money. So that means, does it actually take off? I don't know. I don't have the information. But California's always been the first mover on mass adoption. I'm sure the Silicon guys and the San Francisco guys will push that shit down our throats on every aspect they can, but I'm not sure that'll take. You know, as it is, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to get too much into the weeds as far as what the political affiliations are, stuff like that. But just in general, the first movers have always been here. I mean, when it came to volume buys for Tesla, when you needed it, it was California. when he needed, Starlink, all the list goes on and on and on and on. They were the ones doing it. I mean, most of the layer ones are funded by people in California. Like it's just where it happens, because we're willing to go first and take the risk. I hope it benefits humanity. But like, who said that about downvoting or cancel culture? What is it, Clifford? Did you say shadow banning? You can do the exact same thing with your accounts. What happens if your account gets closed? Is your money still accessible? You know what I mean? What happens if you get demonetized or canceled? You get the idea. So that's kind of why tying social with money is not always a good thing. So that's been the goal of this expansion of central bank digital currencies in a hybrid kind of way, is like, make it an option, but it's still a CBDC. They're still monetizing or demonetizing you. So it just makes it easier and quicker to move social and money together. So that's what the goal was, and it's being done. So I don't think it'll ever WeChat, maybe a complement or competitor. Respectful.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna probably get more demand also on the electric side of things, because it's more like, it's like the unintended consequence of like actions policy. If the energy situation, if you believe what you were reading Zach AC about the IMF, if that is true and they've done their research on whatever shock is coming, then indirectly that may benefit, China EV market, US EV market, because a consumer that is getting, hammered by like high energy costs, they're going to start questioning, okay, maybe I need to transition. Then I'll be forced to transition. Not like I'm like, it's optional. Right now it is. You could say, well, Elon is political and I'm not going to whatever. But if you have to get to work, or if you have to go, if you're running a business, and you're going to start thinking renewable. And that plays into Elon's, entire industry. So I don't know how to take that, but I think generally, and I don't even know if Trump knows what he's doing. He's actually just pushing, he's paying Elon for what he did for him indirectly, because we're going to see from here, maybe 2 years from now, maybe 3 years from now, if this energy situation gets really bad, I see a bid on Tesla. Clearly, there's no question about that. People are gonna sign up for it, and he may have to knock down the price down if demand is high. So it could be an opportunity for him, and I don't know if he knows that too. He probably knows that.
Edgex 103. But yeah, I it'll be interesting. I think it'll be really interesting what he does with SpaceX if he wraps up Tesla in there. I think that's a high likelihood, honestly, in my opinion.
Right.
Right. But we'll see. I'm gonna I gotta shut it down, actually, guys. I gotta jump. I got a meeting I gotta get to. But shout out to everybody, all the speakers. Great stuff as always. Went a little over 2 hours today. We'll be back same time, same place, 9:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully everybody comes back, sees us. Shout out to everybody listening on the live streams too.
Maybe we get a deal in 48 hours.
That would be nice. That would be nice. See you guys.